Okay. So you weren't scared anymore, but then what happened? So you walk up to the knife, you grab it, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get high velocity blood spatter on your shirt?
Mm-hmm.
How? Just give me something, man. Don't just give me, I don't know.
I don't know, Tony.
You can't tell me how some of this blood splattered all over your shirt. You do this, and you hit, right? The blood spatters, okay? That's how it works. Do you know what fucking physics is? That's how it works. If you're standing on the back porch and somebody else stabs your mother, that blood doesn't end up on your shirt. So explain to me why your mother's blood is splattered at a high velocity. Are you just trying to piss me off? I don't understand.
There's a stigma surrounding human ethology that behavioral disorders play a major role in initiating criminality-like conduct. People diagnosed with behavioral disorders such as ASD, OCD, ADHD are far likely to commit a criminal offense and more likely of becoming a victim. This common misconception derives from movies, TV shows, and media outlets portraying serial killers as mentally ill. Though, there are serial killers who indeed possess the inability to function properly in society. People who are at a mental disadvantage are sometimes equally cognitive, if not more. Some behavioral disorders include an impairment of emotional recognition, a deficit in initiating and maintaining social interactions, hyper and hypo reactivity to stimuli. Behavioral disorders affect everyone differently. Today, we will be looking at a suspect who is diagnosed with ASD, particularly an outdated term called Asperger Syndrome. The term is now referred to as highly functioning autism in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. So, the psychopathy behind this case is peculiar to say the least. On August 23, 2017, police would receive a bizarre 911 call from a 23-year-old man named Nathaniel Shimmel. Nathaniel claimed after hearing screaming coming from in front of his house, he would proceed to investigate, where he then saw a masked assailant stabbing his mother multiple times before escaping on foot. Nathaniel claimed he walked up to his mother, where he then proceeded to touch the knife. He then left the scene of the crime, driving to a friend's house, where he was told to call the police.
Flagler County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
47 Woodhollow Lane.
47, and tell me the street name one more time.
47 Woodhollow Lane.
Wood Hollow? Okay, and what's going on there?
I think he hurt my mom.
Who's he?
I don't know. He was wearing one of those robber masks.
Okay, and this happened at 47 Wood Hollow? That's where your mom is?
Yes.
Okay, and how long ago was this?
Just now I heard screaming, and then I came out and she was on the ground. I don't think she's okay.
Okay, we'll send an ambulance. Is she alert and conscious?
I don't know. I got out of there as soon as I could. I don't know if he saw me.
Okay, are you with your mom right now?
No, I got away.
Okay, so you left your mom at 47 Wood Hollow?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and where are you now?
I'm at a friend's house.
Further analysis would reveal unknown DNA underneath Nathaniel's nails and blood spatter on his clothes as well. He was taken into custody to be questioned by 2 detectives. In the beginning of the interrogation, Nathaniel patiently awaits for the detectives to arrive, barely making any sudden movement. As only one investigator enters the room, he begins the interrogation, skipping rapport development as the severity of the situation is quite sudden. The detective has one job and one job only, which is obtaining crucial information that will later be used in court. So, the detective inquires further into Nathaniel's day rather than his life and background in order to ascertain a timeline.
So, can you tell me about your day today? Like, what was it like? Where were you today?
I was just at home on the computer.
What time did you get up?
Around 10.
10? Is that a normal time that you wake up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you wake up at 10. Do you wake up with an alarm clock, or you just wake up on your own?
Yeah, I wake up on the...
Okay, and is there a purpose for the alarm clock? Do you have something specific that you do at 10?
No, I just wake up at 10.
Okay. All right. So, you wake up at 10, and then what? Who's home? You by yourself?
Yeah. Sometime during the day, my uncle came over to fix the floorboards.
Uncle who?
Greg.
Okay, your Uncle Greg. Was your mom home? No. Okay. So, you're at home. Where's Mom?
At work.
Where does she work?
She works over in town center. She's a medical assistant.
At?
Somewhere in town center. I'm not sure what the name is.
Okay. So she's a medical tech in town center. What time does she usually work? Okay. Was your dad home? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, where is he?
I don't know. He has the places renting over in St. Augustine.
He's renting out the places?
Well, yeah, I guess he is. Yeah, he's renting out the house in St. Augustine.
Okay. Do you know where about?
Not really.
Okay. So, does your dad stay in St. Augustine?
Well, ever since they divorced, she'd keep letting him stay over, then kick him out, then staying over, then kicking him out, and he was there for quite a while until she kicked him out, I think like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Why?
I don't know, I think they were just arguing and she just wanted him to leave.
Anybody call the police or anything like that? No? Okay, so he left.
Mm-hmm.
Is he your biological dad?
Mm-hmm.
And she's your biological mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so dad gets thrown out and he's automatically got a place to stay up in St. Augustine?
I think maybe, I don't know if he's keeping up with Frank, he's not currently employed.
Okay. Tell me about the rest of your day. Uncle Greg comes over, does whatever.
She comes home eventually after that. She takes the dogs out, go to the bathroom, and she lets the cats out on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she left it unlocked. She usually locks it and keeps me out there.
Mm-hmm. She what?
She locks me out there. She doesn't want me coming in the house.
Who?
My mom.
Why?
She thinks I'm not looking for a job.
Okay, I'm confused. So she expects you to be out looking for a job during the day.
But since she locked me out of the house, I don't have any way of showering or getting changed or anything.
Okay, and how long has that been going on?
Like 2 or 3 days, I think.
Okay. Have you tried to look for a job?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like where?
Usually over by the new renovated Publix area, and then over by the Target area.
Okay, where have you applied?
Just all around there. I've applied to GameStop, Target, Dollar Tree, all those places.
Okay. So, how do you, I mean, she just, I don't understand, when did she lock you out of the house?
Like 2 or 3 days ago. I've been staying out on the porch for a while now, though.
You've been staying out on the porch for 2-3 days?
No, I've been locked out there. I've been staying over there for like maybe a couple of weeks.
Okay, so when she keeps you out on the porch, does she let you in after she gets home?
Not anymore. Not in the past 2 or 3 days.
How long has this happened?
It's like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so for 2 or 3 days you haven't been in your house?
Mm-mm.
You haven't showered?
No, I haven't gotten to.
Okay, is there a reason that maybe you didn't shower at like Christian's house or something like that?
We don't really hang out that much anymore.
No? Okay,
We hung out, I think, the day before yesterday, though, just for a little bit.
okay. All right, so you've been sleeping outside?
Yeah, out on the porch. I've got 2 fans.
That's kind of bullshit. And that's, I mean, is somebody trying to convince your mom to tell you to do that, or
I don't know.
did you guys discuss it at all? That's crazy.
She just said, you're not looking for a job, so you're gonna be locked out there.
That's really, that's crazy.
The detective continues to entertain his alibi, essentially telling him he doesn't believe in his story one bit. As Nathaniel shrugs off this statement, this confrontational moment is quite interesting, especially relating to the studies of human behavioral science. A commonality that most high-functioning autists shares is the lack of maintaining eye contact during stressful situations. Here, we observe Nathaniel hold eye contact nearly through the entire interrogation. This most likely is an attempt to have the detective believe in his story. While his oculesics may seem genuine, his body posture and intonations are telltale signs of his deceptive behavior.
Okay. All right. So, when your mom came home from work today, so she came home what time?
I wasn't really paying attention at the time, probably around 5.
And you were on the back porch.
The entire day.
Okay. And the house is locked?
I think, as far as I know.
Okay. So you're on the back porch, your mom comes home at 5. Does she talk to you? Does anything?
No.
No conversation at all?
Not really, no.
Okay. So then take me through what happens.
She, left the door unlocked, left the cats out. I guess she never locked it. Then
I thought you said the house was locked.
she is. I'm talking about the porch door.
Oh, the porch door.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
For the and before that, she'd taken the dog to go to the bathroom. And then later, I heard her scream, and I went out into the living room and outside. And
how did you get to the living room?
the porch door was unlocked, so I opened it up and I went outside. The door was open. The front door.
Where did you hear the screaming from?
Somewhere in front of the house, either right by the door or outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you hear some screaming, so you go into the house. Did any part of you think that it was inside the house?
No, it sounded like it was by the front door.
Okay. So it sounded like it was by the front door. So you go through the house. Can you draw roughly your house?
Okay.
Though Nathaniel claimed he was locked out of his house, he states he entered through the back door upon hearing the commotion. Nathaniel begins to illustrate a drawing of the crime scene detailing the attacker, noting his height and build. This description foreshadows his father, another suspect in the murder of Nathaniel Shimmel.
So you see this, and what goes through your mind?
I went over to her and I asked if she was okay, and I went to pull the knife out, but I stopped. She didn't say anything. So I went to pull the knife out and I stopped. I don't know if I should do that. And then I got in my car and I went to Christians, and then I called 911.
Okay. So when you got in your car to go to Christians,
yeah.
Why? My main question is why wouldn't you call 911 from your house?
I wanted to make sure I was safe before I did it.
Okay. So what went through? I mean, were you concerned about being safe when you went up to her?
I don't know. I was just in a blind panic.
A blind panic?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you try to turn her over, or no?
No.
No. Was she making any sounds? No.
No.
Did you try any type of CPR or anything like that? Okay. So you walked through the blood?
I got some off when I got to Christians.
Okay. How did you get it off?
I rinsed it off.
Okay. Using what?
Just water and a towel.
Okay. All right. All right.
Now that the detective has gotten Nathaniel to openly admitting to cleaning the blood off his shoes, he continues to question him further, trying to understand why he didn't call police any sooner. Whether the inability to process the situation or genuine fear for his life, leaving the crime scene and having to be told to call the police are glaring red flags of guilt.
So when you went up to your mom, what exactly did you do?
I went down on the ground and I kind of moved her to see if she was okay. She didn't say anything. I yanked on the knife, but I didn't know if I should pull it out.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think during when I was running through by the front door, I think I lost my glasses, but I had an extra pair.
You had an extra pair on you?
Yeah. Well, in my car, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when did you put on the extra pair?
In my car.
In your car on the way to Christian's?
Yeah.
Okay. So try to take the knife out.
Mm-hmm.
Which hand do you use?
I use both, but mostly this one.
Mostly the right hand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're ambidextrous?
Slightly.
Slightly? Okay. All right. So when you went to grab the knife,
Mm-hmm.
did you grab it like this? You grab it like
I
this?
think I grabbed it like that.
Okay. Did you pull it out?
Not completely, no.
No. How far out?
A little more than halfway, I'm not sure.
Okay. So was your mom? She wasn't making any sound. Was she breathing or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Did you check her pulse? Okay. And so when time is of the essence,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy's already ran away,
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over not calling 911.
I didn't know what to do.
Have you ever called 911 before?
Mm-hmm.
Never?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. All right, just give me a second.
The detective steps out momentarily to ascertain questions that may have been left out during the first half of the interrogation. This often affords the suspect time to gather their thoughts. When the detective returns, he asks Nathaniel an incriminating but true question.
You know what I think is kind of a strange thing? Is that we've been dealing with you for how many hours now? Do you know how many hours it's been? Okay. Do you know how many times you've asked any of us how your mom's doing? No? Are you gonna ask?
I'm afraid to know. I don't want to know.
Huh?
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know? Why?
I think she might not be okay.
Tell me what you mean by that.
I don't want to know if she's okay or not, because she might not be.
What makes you say that?
I saw her, she didn't look okay.
Describe that.
She didn't. There's a lot of blood.
Okay. So a lot of blood. I mean, what does that mean?
There's a lot of blood.
Where was the blood?
All around her.
Uh-huh. And you only touched the knife?
I bent down and I touched her to see if she was okay, and she didn't say anything.
Uh-huh. So rather than call 911, you got in your car
Yeah.
and you drove how many miles?
Like half a mile, it's not that far.
And then they had to tell you to call 911. Because I've been sitting here and listening to to your excuses and whatever you're saying. And it's gotten a little bit aggravating, especially when you haven't asked once how she's doing, which I think is strange. I mean, you're 23 years old, 22 years old. Your mother raised you. And you don't want to know how she's doing? I think you know how she's doing. I think that's the problem. I think you know how she's doing.
Is she okay?
Why don't you tell me?
I don't know. Why would I know?
You don't know? You don't want to know.
No, I don't.
So then why'd you ask me?
Because you said,
Okay. Your mom's dead.
As Nathaniel sits across the detective who's confirming his mother is indeed deceased, Nathaniel once again would stare at the detective, not saying a word. In hindsight, unbeknownst to the detective whose main goal is to secure confession, we know that Nathaniel's mental disadvantage prevents him from expressing how he truly feels, so he decides to remain quiet.
You got nothing to say. I'm not even done telling you the crazy shit. So fucking brace yourself.
what?
Do you know what high velocity blood spatter is? You don't? You have high velocity blood spatter on your shirt.
You know?
Yeah, you do.
To provide further context, blood spatter analysis is the forensics of finding out multiple key factors of the contributing blood being dispersed far after the initial attack. This analysis determines the trajectory, cause, and general location as well as a rough time period due to the evaluation of the residue. Low velocity blood spatter is usually accompanied by blood being dispersed from a far distance, thus causing a dripping or spatter with a large diameter. Medium velocity blood spatter is usually accompanied by blunt force trauma. This would resemble a spray-like spatter. High velocity blood spatter is usually accompanied with gunshot wounds. This produces an extremely fine blood spatter or mist-like residue. Blood spatter will vary depending on the situation, but in Nathaniel's case, this tells us not only was he close to his mother at the time of the attack, he was within inches due to the type of blood spatter found on his clothes.
So, do you want to try again and tell me what happened tonight?
I already told you though.
Okay. Tell me one more time. Humor me.
From where? When I was on the porch or?
Yeah, you were out on the porch and you heard screaming.
I was on my porch on my computer.
Sure.
I heard screaming. The porch was unlocked, so I opened it and I, at some point, lost my glasses while looking. I went out through the front door, which was already open. I went down to her. The guy was already making way past the driveway where the turn is.
You're still sticking with the guy?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
I bent down and I asked her if she was okay and she didn't say anything. I tried to bite the knife, but I didn't know if I should move it or not.
So then why touch it?
I don't know. I was scared.
Where'd you recognize the knife from?
It looked like one of ours.
Oh, it looked like one of yours.
Yeah, we have a kitchen knife thing.
So a knife that came out of your house, a knife that came out of your house right, that you walk through, did you walk past it where the knives are?
Well, the kitchen was over there, so yeah, I don't look at it.
Okay. So you walked out, you walk through the house, you walk out front, and you see her and the mystery man standing at the end of the property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you are scared of the, hold on, you're scared of the mystery man, right?
Yeah.
But you develop immense courage for several seconds and you run up to your mom, just long enough to get your DNA on her, right? And on the knife.
Well, that took me, it was already far away.
I get that, man, and that's why your fucking story makes no sense. He was already far away. You have no reason to not call the police. But yet you told us on a sworn statement, you tell us that you went to your friend's house because you're scared of the masked mystery man.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you weren't scared anymore, but then what happened? So you walk up to the knife, you grab it, right?
Yeah.
How do you get high velocity blood spatter on your shirt?
I don't know.
How? Just give me something, man. Don't just give me I don't know.
I don't know though.
You can't tell me how some of this blood splattered all over your shirt. You do this, and you hit, right? The blood spatters, okay? That's how it works. Do you know what fucking physics is? That's how it works. If you're standing on the back porch and somebody else stabs your mother, that blood doesn't end up on your shirt. So explain to me why your mother's blood is splattered at a high velocity.
I don't know.
Are you just trying to piss me off? I don't understand.
Oh,
Just you, with blood all over your toes, with scratches on your arm. You lost a pair of glasses.
yeah,
Yeah. You got a stretch on your V-neck.
that's if you know correct.
I know what a V-neck is. You got blood, your mom's blood, your dead mother's blood on your chest. You've still got your dead mother's blood on your chest right now.
Jeez.
What do you want to see, pictures?
No,
Huh?
no. No.
If you didn't think she was dead, you wouldn't have left, my man. You would have called 911. If you didn't think she was, you already knew what I told you. You didn't even flinch. I've been doing this shit for 12 years, man. I've dealt with the hardest gangsters in Flagler County. And when these dudes find out that their mother passes away or their family member, they react. Gangsters who've been killing people, shooting people since they were little. You, though, I'm telling you right now that you got your dead mother's blood on your chest. I'm telling you that you got high velocity blood spatter from your mother on you. Tomorrow, they're going to tell us that your DNA, your skin, is under her fingernails.
Won't know.
Huh?
No.
Did she scratch you earlier in the day?
No.
So you're going to maintain that you got scratches from a human being on your left arm from leaning up against a cone. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? Explain that to me. Because that's just like the fucking science with the blood spatter with you. So explain to me how that happens. Tell me, I'm listening.
I was just leaning up against the car in the car.
Do you react to anything?
What do you mean?
You don't react to anything. You're not you're not, you're just in here stone cold, like you don't give a fuck about anything I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Would you not say that I'm laying some heavy shit on you right now? Or maybe you deal with harder shit when you're playing World of Warcraft. I don't
I
know.
don't play that.
Huh?
I don't play that.
Okay, whatever you play.
The detective begins to get frustrated as he fails to get a reaction from Nathaniel. Had he known the person he is interrogating is at a mental disadvantage, the detective's demeanor might have changed as he wouldn't be expecting a reaction. The detective eventually digresses instead, trying to empathize with Nathaniel.
Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
What am I telling you?
You said that I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't though.
Okay. Listen to me, man. Tell me where else the blood would come from.
I don't know.
Give me a fucking theory.
I was pulling out the knife and it got on me. I don't know.
You were pulling out the knife and it got on you.
I don't know how else it was.
But you didn't move the knife. The knife is still in her.
Well, I didn't take it out, no.
No. That doesn't create high velocity spatter. Remember? That makes high velocity spatter. A slashing motion makes high velocity spatter. Do you think maybe that something happened and it got taken out of hand? Do you think something went out of hand? Maybe that's what happened. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you and your mom get into an argument and then you try to scare her and it gets carried away. Maybe she hits you. I don't know. Maybe she hits you and you react on instinct.
No, she hit me.
Huh?
She wouldn't hit me though.
She wouldn't hit you?
No.
She knocked your glasses off your face though. Okay. Do you know what we do with dead people? You know what we do with dead people under suspicious circumstance?
No.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't want to know. It's creepy.
We bag their hands. We put bags around their hands
Why?
to make sure that they weren't fighting and trying to defend themselves when they were killed. Your mother was murdered. Your mother was murdered, and she's got the DNA of whoever murdered her under her fingernails. How can I say the words, your murdered mother to you, and you don't even react?
She's not dead.
She is dead. Do you think that I just find guys and tell them that their mother's dead when she's not? What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? What happened? Take me through it. Tell me what happened. Tell me the truth. Your mother's fucking watching you. She's dead. She's watching you. What happened? You're seeing it in your fucking head right now. You're seeing what happened. You're playing it over in your head. You are playing exactly the moment that your mother was killed in your head right now. You are not on the back porch, you are right there. and you fucking know it, and that's why her blood is all over your shirt. So explain to me why this happened, or are you just a psychopath who kills their mother for no fucking reason? Give me an explanation. Tell me something. Tell me something so I don't walk out of here and say, this fucking guy, he can't even own up to the 22-year-old man can't own up to some shit he did. You're gonna blame the shit on your fucking dad because you don't fucking like the guy? What do you see, man? What are you seeing? What? She's dead. She's dead. Yeah. She's been murdered. Your mother was murdered and you were right there. Yeah.
She's not dead.
Yeah, she is dead. She is dead. She's dead. That's the shit that you did. That's what you did to her. She raised you and you killed her. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You grabbed a kitchen knife and you stabbed your own mother in the fucking back. What kind of person fucking stabs their own mother in the fucking back? Huh? A piece of shit? A complete fucking psychopath? And then to blame it on your fucking dad? You're fucking sick. You're a sick fuck. And you can't even fucking own up to it. You can't even look at me in the fucking eyes. You're staring at the ground like a little fucking bitch. Because you can't.
The detective loses his patience, berating Nathaniel on his behavior before empathizing once again. We observe the detective deploy the Mutt and Jeff technique all by himself. Here is our first glimpse of any emotion shown by Nathaniel.
Why are you crying?
No.
Why are you crying?
No.
What do I have to do, man? Do I have to do what the movies do and put a bunch of pictures of her in front of you from every angle? Is that what I have to do? I mean, what's it gonna take for you to fucking man up? Just fucking man up. Just fucking man up.
Why would I do it though? That would never.
I don't know, because sometimes things happen on impulse. If something happens on an impulse, that's one thing. You know when you stub your fucking toe and you could just punch a hole through the fucking wall? And that's not some shit that you would normally do.
The detective would once again dissect Nathaniel's alibi, essentially telling him his story is impossible had he touched a knife after the attack happened. After 30 minutes of immense psychological scrutiny, Nathaniel begins to ask peculiar questions. This most likely is an attempt to shift the detective's attention elsewhere.
There wouldn't be any blood on the handle, my friend. Because when a person gets stabbed, a hand is around the handle, like this. You see? So even when the blood spatters, the hand is covering the handle. And once they let go, if they leave the knife in the person, there's no blood, right? So if you were to come afterwards and touch that knife, you're not going to get any blood on you anyways. Because there's no blood on the knife. So that doesn't make any sense either. There's a thing called crimes of passion. There's a reason that the state of Florida, whenever there's a domestic violence...
Did you find anything else there?
Where?
At the... Where she
died?
Mm.
What?
Where she is Did you find anything else nearby?
Like what? Sorry?
It could have been him before you got away.
I'll give you a minute.
These questions posed by Nathaniel could be his way of deflecting the situation altogether, or an attempt to shift the detective's attention elsewhere. The detective leaves the room once again to allow Nathaniel to simmer in his own thoughts. He would return to confront him one last time.
Hey. Come on, Twizzler.
Thank you.
So, what's going on? Thinking? Doing some searching? What? What do you think? What's up? What's going on? Talk to me. You see this? Look at this. That's the local paper. You ever heard of it? You don't read Flagler Live? Everybody reads Flagler Live around here. I find out more shit about Flagler County on Flagler Live than any other publication. It's fantastic. You can read, right? Do you know what that said? You don't? You want me to read it to you? It says, man stabs and kills woman on Palm Coast Wood Hollow Lane. Yeah. Yep. So, Nate, what's up? What are you doing now? What is this? Come on, man. All of a sudden now you're in your feelings? What? What's up?
I didn't do it.
Huh?
I didn't do it. Should never make me do something like that.
Hey, look up real quick. You were sitting on the back porch. According to you, you're sitting on the back porch and you hear a scream, right? What don't you understand? I'm not speaking Greek. I can do that if you'd like, but I'm not at this point. So what don't you understand?
Why she would open the door.
Why would she open the door for a masked man? And then, after he stabs the fucking Christ out of her, she runs after him? How much sense does that make, man? But that's your story. That's your story. It's bullshit, but that's what you're going with. And then you get to her, but she's already dead, which is also highly unlikely. Because, as you told me earlier, in a sworn statement, mind you, as you told me earlier, you moved through the house pretty quickly. So this fucking psychopath stabs this woman, and then she runs with him towards the front of the property. Do you see how this is becoming a little comical? Okay. She runs with him towards the end of the property, and then this human being who's running away, but he's still in your sight. You still see this person, but you don't see your living mother. How many problems are there with that story? And why do those problems exist, Nate?
Nathaniel knows his story is falling apart. His kinesics is an attempt to hide his face and detach altogether. After an hour of mental fatigue and the inability to properly converse on the topic, Nathaniel finally opens up to the detective, elaborating his involvement in the murder.
Let it out, man. It's going to eat you alive. It's going to eat you alive. You should be ashamed of yourself, man. Your mother's up there. And you can't even admit to what you did. It's going to feel a lot better once it comes out. It's going to feel a lot better. And then we can work. We can work together on trying to patch things up. Come on, man. Are you religious? Are you religious? This is a very evil thing that happened today, Nate. It's not? Tell me. Tell me. What happened? What happened? What happened? Nate, what happened? What happened, Nate? All you can do, man, is ask God for forgiveness, man. Yeah. Tell me what happened.
Even though interrogations are used for suspects under serious allegations, a confession is a time where a guilty suspect can genuinely express remorse.
You panicked because she was going to kick you out.
Yeah, I didn't want to go on.
Okay.
What do you think?
And you guys were standing in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay. So she told you she was going to kick you out, and you panicked.
Yeah.
And did she do something to make it worse? I mean, what happened?
She was just yelling at me and she grabbed me and I panicked.
Did she grab you?
She just grabbed my arm, like, just out of, like, just tried to talk to me. I panicked.
Okay. And then what?
It just happened.
Where did you cut her?
In the neck, I think.
Okay. And how did the knife end up in her back?
I put it there so it looked like I didn't do it. I didn't mean to. I don't hate her.
You don't hate her.
No.
You need anything?
No.
Okay.
I have one request though.
What's that?
Before you guys kill me, I wanna see your grave. I wanna say goodbye.
No, I don't. Nobody's gonna kill you. Okay.
They've gotta give me the death penalty
No.
after what I did. It's murder.
Yeah, I know, but listen, you're really don't think like that, okay?
I deserve it.
Well,
I can't she didn't deserve
listen,
this.
I don't agree in the death. I don't agree with the death penalty, and I don't believe that just because something happens that somebody, I believe that somebody like you, who's actually good enough to own up to what they did, can talk to other people, and can talk to other people who might have, who might have gone down that road and might do that, and try to tell them to learn from their mistakes.
She deserves it.
I know. Just hang tight, okay? Somebody's right here, okay?
Can you stand up for my friend?
You ready?
Nathaniel was convicted of the murder of his mother, Michelle Shimmel. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Special thanks to my channel members, and see you in the next one.